Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We have already discussed affirmations, self-worth, and recognizing kids' mental health in our series Happy Mind, Happy Life. This is the fourth episode in this series. For affirmations and self-worth, we need to have a positive mind and we should be able to see the beauty around us. Can we bring positivity to our life with negative thinking? Can we make a difference in our current state and take it to a desirable, pleasant state with negative thoughts? Having a positive mindset is very important for our development. And that is what we will be talking about in this episode, Growth Mindset. Hi, I'm Alpana Dev and you are listening to Mother's Curricle Podcast. Talking about mindset and not mentioning about Steve Jobs will leave this episode incomplete. Steve Jobs wouldn't have become an inspiration to many minds if he didn't have the courage and positive mindset to do something significant and worthy. He dropped out from Reed's College after first semester, but before leaving, he took calligraphy class that later inspired him to include a wide range of fonts versus one standard text on the first Macs. In his interview, he shared a simple and brilliant insight, which has since been backed up by psychology research. Jobs said, "When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is and your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family life, have fun, save some little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you will never be the same again." If you see any successful people and try to understand the main reason behind their success, then you'll know that it is not just their smartness or expertise, but it is their positive mindset of believing in their efforts and actions. When there is innovation or experiment, there will be a failure. Not just one, but many failures. But can any innovation be complete without trial and error? Can we get results in one go? In science experiments, failure or inaccurate results also become a part of the whole experiment. They tell us where we went wrong and become the base of our next trial. The same applies to our life events. When we know that every time things may not go in our desired manner, why should we treat them as failures? And with repeated failures, our mindset gets crowded with negative thoughts, self-judgments, negative analysis, self-blame. Can't we train our minds to see it as an opportunity to try harder and make ourselves even better and be expert in it? For someone who is consistently trying to make things right, but it is not happening, then having a positive mindset seems close to impossible. But just by saying that it is tough for me to think positive all the time, this cannot be the answer or the excuse for not changing our mindset. No one is born with a negative mindset. Still, many factors such as life experiences, any particular incident, or people we meet change our perspective. Later, we end up in a mindset that restricts us from thinking positively. This shift from positive to negative mindset happens so quietly that we don't see it coming. And before we know, it becomes a permanent member. bringing a slight change in our already perceived notion about our life is hard. So, get the word mindset in the picture, and the difficulty level reaches the next level. Confusing the word simple with easy. These two terms look very similar, isn't it? And we often use them as synonyms. But when talking about the changes we want to bring our lives, we cannot use them as synonyms. If that would have been the case, why would people have struggled to change their outlook or way of living? We often do not put our 100% effort because the task is simple. When something simple, we do not have the proper resources, whether it is time, effort, or mental energy. When we try to do something that seems simple and fail because we didn't plan well, we feel more discouraged than ever. The truth is that change is hard. And even making small modifications to our behavior, it is not easy. Just thinking and not implementing. When we hear motivational talks, we feel uplifted. And the course of action that suggests sounds powerful and doable. We understand the need for the change. But you cannot experience those words' beauty and power just by understanding. You don't see improvement only by understanding or listening. And then comes the self-blame game. Knowing your loopholes is good, but playing a self-blame game is not at all a good practice. Self-blame and self-criticism are the biggest obstacles in self-development. We make decisions about what we feel correct at that particular moment. Sometimes, even if we know that our choices are not right, our mind frame does not allow us to see it. Looking back, we blame ourselves for making bad choices. Now, when we have more options and a better mind frame, we can make the right decision. Can we move forward towards a better tomorrow if we keep looking back and criticizing ourselves? Why a positive mindset or growth mindset is necessary? If we have a growth mindset, we enjoy challenges, despite the risk, usually because we value learning and growth more than others, thinking we know what we are doing. On the other hand, if we have a fixed mindset, we may shy away from challenges because we do not want to feel embarrassed. And that's where self-blame comes into picture. But the fear of failure or embarrassment of self-blame can lead us to restricted growth or no growth. Having a growth or positive mindset contributes to the overall development and fuller personality. The good news is that it is possible to develop a growth mindset that will help you persist and thrive through change. I am going to list a handful of strategies to get started on your self-growth or growth mindset journey. As I always say, you can close your eyes for the rest of the episode if you want. Let's dive in. Accept imperfections in self and others as it is, that element that makes us individuals. We all have flaws, we all have weakness, we all have loopholes. Nobody is perfect. So there is nothing to feel ashamed about it. Face challenges bravely. Consider failures, challenges, setbacks as an opportunity. Each challenge or opportunity invites us into a new experience that is a sort of adventure. Pay attention to your words. When we say anything to others and that we tell ourselves, if our comments are low or dark, the result may also be the same. Try to replace negative thoughts or words with more positive ones, or judgments with acceptance, hate with compassion. Listen to your heart. Don't seek approval from others all the time. Be your guiding light. trust your instincts. Be yourself. Don't copy others. You are special, you are unique, and you have all the capabilities to be your best version. Learn from others' mistakes. If you can learn from others' mistakes, you will not repeat those mistakes. Value and enjoy the process, and don't focus on the end goal. Whatever is coming along your way during that process, it's learning. So take those mini moments, those teachable moments, and grow as you move on. Don't shy away from making mistakes in front of others. We often want to give our best in front of others, as we think that making mistakes will make us look bad. But it's okay. When we try something new, then mistakes will happen. It's natural. And it is entirely okay. Be realistic towards your expectations. If we don't have realistic goals, or let's call it desired outcomes, then small failures become a big deal because the task seems impossible. We also speed up, but the growth mindset says that enjoying the process is more important than focusing on the end goal. No matters how long we take to understand something new, seeing yourself grow along the process is very important. So these were few of the pointers I wanted to share about growth mindset. You can open your eyes if you want. A couple of days ago, I shared a blog post on growth mindset on my Instagram feed. And I got a beautiful response from one of my followers who is a coach and follows growth mindset in her everyday life. Her name is Martha Monroe. Martha is a coach who loves helping people get clarity on their values and show up authentically in their lives and goals. She thrives on sharing powerful ideas, creating community, and inspiring positive change. Martha has over a decade of experience in the health and wellness industry and is currently an MSc candidate in applied positive psychology and coaching psychology at University of East London. I'm very happy to have Martha to share her views about growth mindset for this episode. Over to you, Martha.
Our mindsets are so much more than beliefs. They're the orientations we have towards success and failures, the way that we explain the things that happen to us, the labels that we place on ourselves, and they make up a big part of how we see the world. So the idea of mindset was created by an author and researcher named Carol Dweck in her book called Mindset. And she described that people have either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So someone with a fixed mindset might say that failure is the limit of their ability. Some people either, have it or they don't. And they always want to give up when things start to get tough. Whereas on the other side, a person using a growth mindset might see things a little differently, that their effort and their attitudes play a big role in the successes that they have, that, feedback that other people offer you is what helps you to grow, and that challenges can be faced with more excitement rather than dread. So when we look at these two types of mindset, growth mindset and fixed mindset, it seems obvious that, growth mindset is the one we would want for ourselves and the one we would want for our children. And many would identify that that's the right way to think about things. However, fixed mindsets can show up kind of in sneaky ways. It's not just always, one or the other. You can have a growth mindset in some areas and a fixed mindset in others. So there's lots of benefits to having a growth mindset. And the really great news is that you can cultivate one. So some simple ways that you can start to cultivate more of a growth mindset are: number one, notice when you're thinking in a fixed mindset, such as feeling like, oh, this is too hard, I'll never be able to do it. Something that might be more helpful is, this is hard, but it's a thing that people learn to do, so there's no reason why I can't learn to do it as well. Number two, you can start to talk back to that thought and question if it's true. So is that thought that you're having actually true. And when we think of talking back to it, it can feel a little bit forced to feel like you're talking to yourself, but you can think of maybe a friend or a loved one or your child, if they were talking to you about a problem and they said, oh, I'm feeling like I should just, this is the limit of my ability. How would you talk to them about being more growth and process oriented to kind of help them move through that thought in a way that's equally true? We still want it to be true. We don't want it to be, the fixed mindset thought be, oh, I'm bad at technology. It's not a growth mindset to just say something that's not true, like I'm good at technology. That's not also true. But something could be, technology is a learned skill. And so with practice, I will be able to do the things that I want to do. And number 3 is choose to take the growth mindset action, even if you're not 100% there yet. So if, that voice of doubt wants you to just give up when things get hard, we can choose to keep going just a little bit, even if we're feeling like we don't 100% believe in our ability to do that. We can choose to start to take that action regardless of the fact that we're not there 100%. So we can't control everything. We're living in a stressful time. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of factors that aren't within our control. But our mindset is one layer that we can be aware of and start to influence a little bit. So this isn't to say that mindset is going to be the solution to every problem that you ever have. I think that that's, quite reductive to the struggles that people deal with in their real lives on a daily basis. But it is something that can just start to foster more awareness about the way that we talk to ourselves, the labels that we place on ourselves that impact our effort on things, and our beliefs about ourselves and our efforts and our attitude, and how that might link to our future success. So a really great place to start is to have a growth mindset about developing a growth mindset. So take that learner's position and focus on that feeling of challenges are exciting. My effort and my attitude will play a big role in my success. Feedback and experience is what helps me grow.
It is so true and so beautifully explained by Martha. So with this super positive vibes and super positive environment, this episode has come to an end. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to check out other episodes on Mother's Gurukul podcast. If this is your first time ever listening to Mother's Gurukul podcast, then welcome. If you have not already, please leave your ratings and reviews wherever you're listening to this show. If you have any suggestions or feedbacks or ideas that you would like me to talk about on this show, or how I can make this channel more entertaining, then please feel free to reach out to me through my social media handles. Alpana_Dev on Twitter, Alpana Bapat on Instagram, and Mother's Gurukul on Facebook. You can also email me at mothersgurukulpodcast@gmail.com. So I will see you soon with another interesting episode, another uplifting episode in the series Happy Mind, Happy Life. Till then, stay blessed, stay happy. Bye-bye.